Hey, Spirit Gang, welcome. I am your co-host, Nancy Christine Brady, and I am here with the lovely and talented Tara Diana. And this is Spirit Angels and Guides. Oh my. And today, do we got you? Tara, do you want to introduce who's joining us today?
Okay, so super excited. I love it. Once a month, we have our special guest come in. And today, our special guest today is Tawana, a fourth generation. Sorry, we're keeping this in, Nancy. We are not editing this. A fourth generation intuitive healer, psychic, and spiritual coach. Empowered by the support of her ancestral lineage spanning 5 generations, she's embarked on a mission to inspire others to shed the masks of societal expectations and embrace their true selves. I love that so much.
Hmm.
Her story is one of resilience, bravery, and unwavering authenticity, and she is committed to sharing it boldly with the world. Damn, Skippy girl, we have to show up. Through this darkness, Black Butterfly Goddess was birthed and is now a beacon of light for those who need unconditional love and support. Hear, amen, hallelujah. All the stars are aligning, right? That's
Yes.
how it happens.
Step into the world where the extraordinary is just the beginning.
We're two psychic mediums diving into spiritual and metaphysical mysteries, everything from spirit messages, animal communication, to eerie synchronicities.
Each week, we uncover the bizarre, beautiful, and unexplained with excitement and awe.
This isn't your typical metaphysical talk, it's a journey into the wonderfully weird,
Welcome to the Spirits, Angels, and Guides Oh My podcast.
where the supernatural gets real, baby. So, I want to start the conversation, Nan, if you're okay with this.
Run with it, girl.
So, as an empowerment medium, for me, it is all about the ability, Tawana, to help people find their authentic selves. And
Yes.
to do that, I have not necessarily relied on my life's experience. And of course, it always plays a little bit into the work that you do, but my connection to spirit is very mediumistic. I am a
Mhm.
channel and I just channel. But recently, going through some stuff that I've had to go through in the last year and a little bit, I have found more attunement to the trauma, the loss that I've had coming through in
Yes.
my work as well. And I feel like that's what you were talking about when you gave me that bio, is that there has been a ton of adversity in your life. We call them trials, tribulations,
Yes. Yes.
obstacles,
Yes.
challenges. Do you want to speak to that a little bit?
Absolutely. From birth, I've had nothing but trials and tribulations. Being born premature in 1975 was not good. 3 pounds, 4 ounces. My mother had pneumonia and 108 fever. Neither of us were supposed to make it. Fast forward, through my teen years, we had a very traumatic experience with my father. Trigger warning.
Oh, big trigger warning, guys.
I was impregnated by my father at 15.
Oh,
And so, that kind of set the mindset up for the rest of my life because,
mhm.
you stop, your emotional intelligence gets stuck there.
Mm.
And so built a family, had children, and was raising them with the emotional intelligence of a 16-year-old until 2.5 years ago, where I tried to take my life. And that's where my spiritual journey kind of took off. It was like, the plane at the end of the runway where the nose is going up. And I've always known I was psychic, but I had to suppress it a lot for other people and for, being in the church and things like that. When we got down to the end of that runway, I went up hard and fast, and now I'm soaring. I went through the dark night of the soul. I've gone through all of the a lot of the healing modalities that are not traditional. RTT hypnotherapy helped me better than 15 years of therapy. One
Mm.
session.
Want to
Dark
just
night is
describe for the listeners what that is?
absolutely rapid transformational therapy. Is kind of where they take you back through your subconscious. You are hypnotized, and they're taking you back to teach you how to love each version of yourself that existed to help you through that, whatever that piece of your trauma was. And so I was taken back as far as where I signed my soul contract and why I chose my mother. So it healed me more than years of traditional talk therapy.
Thanks for explaining
Because
that for everyone.
yes, my pleasure. Then I understood who I was. I understood why I existed, which were two questions that I had had my whole life. And so,
oh, I was just going to say, isn't it like, first, I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. I mean, some of the trauma is so much more severe for those of us that go through certain things than others. But
yes,
isn't it something like every single psychic or medium that I have met has gone through some sort of level of trauma that has really been a catalyst and transformed their entire journey, or into that sort of, like you said, in like a jet, just shoot into,
yes,
whether you're ease and grace into it or it's something very traumatic and suddenly you're like boom, and
yes,
it's eyes wide open, isn't it?
yes, it is. It is. I went through a very tumultuous relationship. It was very toxic. Tried to take my life. And that's where my real story began. Because when I moved into the apartment I live in now, this was my first apartment alone. I was a teenage mother. So I've literally never lived alone.
Wow.
And when I got here, my mother's voice got so loud. Like, at first I'm like, oh, you just wish she was here. You just, you miss her. And then it became undeniably loud. And I would be outside on the porch all night scripting. Just she had me for months just scripting. And it was just kind of getting a lot of the goo and the garb that needed to be gone. Just the residuals of everything that I had gone through just needed to be gone. Then she says, "You're ready. You're ready to meet the others."
Hmm.
And she brought forth each ancestor. There are a dozen of them in my house right now. The ones that I had not met in my lifetime, she brought them forth first. I would learn who they were energetically. So she would make sure I could feel their energy first, that I could recognize their energy first, and then I would visually see them. So it's been quite a journey. I love my life.
Nice.
I I love my life, and I love what I do, and I love the sparkle that I see in people's eyes when I am that bridge or channel between the material and the spiritual realm. Plus, I understand what people have gone through. So I am also that coach that, I've got your back kind of, come on, let's take your hand, let's do this. I'm not going to do the work for you, but if you're willing to do the work, I'm going to pull you up out of that ditch. And the women that I am working with are incredible.
Think it's really important that we emphasize here that your experiences are what really are helping these other individuals that you're working with.
Oh,
That
yes.
you went through this. Now, I'm going to say this. I am an empowerment medium. I've done this work for 22 plus years professionally, and my trauma didn't happen until 14 months ago. So
Mhm.
I have done the work from a different place than you. I can't say I've experienced great traumatic loss or deep, trials and tribulations.
Mhm.
But my work comes straight from spirit, from
Mhm.
source, from whatever that looks like. And I never ever questioned it. So I think it's really powerful for you to be talking about how your mother has come through and brought this. That is not anything that I've worked with, nor do I know many people that work like that. So that is very, very cool.
It is. It is. I've been very, very grateful for it. She guides me every day. She's always right here, always on my right. She creeps people out because she'll make that eye turn colors on TikTok when I'm doing TikTok lives, or she'll make this eye on me turn blue when she's ready to channel through me. But it's been the longest, shortest 2.5 years of my life. But if I had to repeat it again, I would, just to be where I am today. and to see the light come on in other people's eyes. It's nothing that I've ever seen before. You know, that moment when you see someone's light come back on, you know, when they meet you, they're like this and hopeless. And then a few weeks later, they're all excited for their meetings and what are we doing this week, goddess? And so it's been a long, short 2 years, 2.5 years. And I would repeat it if I had to.
What is it that you are offering these souls that find you and that resonate with you and they feel you? Because that's really what it is, right, Nan? Is that when people come to us, we all have a flavor, right? We all have a different flavor. I'm like, sometimes Nan has got to have the best sense of humor, but she can literally be the calm before the storm for me. So, you know, we can walk into a room and she's got the best sense of humor, but you know, she also can keep everyone in a cool headspace. Whereas I come in and I'm like all over the place, like a bull in a china shop. And I'm like, wah! And she's like, oh God, here we go again. But she has this, you know, we all have this different flavor that comes with us. So what is it that you, girlfriend, are offering others? What is it about you that resonates with certain people?
What resonates is my authenticity. I share every part of my life. I am fully transparent. Every mistake I've made is public. I talk about how my children and I were in separation. I talk about accountability. People resonate with me because they see I'm real.
Okay.
I'm not out here trying to pretend I have this perfect life, you know, everything is just great. And, you know, I live in, you know, I tell my TikTokers, like, yeah, I wish I was one of these TikTokers charging you $500 for a reading and living in a luxury building, but that's
But do
not my
you?
calling. That's not my heart. Yeah,
Do you
I
really?
do offer readings, but
But no,
not
let's
at
talk
that
about that,
rate.
Nan. Tawana, let's talk about that for a second. That is a
Yes.
big thing for me. Is that like I said, I've been doing this work for a very, very long time, baby.
Mm-hmm.
And I have, you know, I have a certain level of experience. I'm not gonna say
Mm-hmm.
expertise because I don't believe that, but I have a
Mm-hmm.
certain level of experience. And these people go on to these platforms. Now I'm on TikTok as well. I go on TikTok because I like to do the memes and the whatever and be like, my sister
Mm-hmm.
God saying that. That's my thing. And I do the lives. I find the lives are annoying as hell, though, to be straight up and honest with you.
Sometimes.
All the people coming on there and being like, am I gonna date this boy forever? Is he thinking?
Oh my God.
And you know what? Let,
I
right? Those aren't, and I'm not used to that. I'm a Facebook girl. I'm an old school girl, right? Facebook's my main platform. So I have people
right.
that are coming from a very different space.
Yes.
Okay. And
I'm
then
the
to
same
come on
way.
into my first live, I remember calling Nan and being like, "Oh my goodness!" And my moderator, my beautiful Stacy, she was like, "Are you going to be okay?" Stacy and Kiara were moderating for me, and I was like, "I don't think I'm going to be okay. Like, what is this nonsense?" And don't get me wrong, I know that they're asking it because there is something going on within them that they feel they need to know.
Right. Right.
You're missing the bigger pictures in life. If
And
you
that's what I
really,
try to tell them.
right,
That's
if
what
you
I
are
try to
sitting
tell
there
them.
and you're worried about whether he's thinking of you, he's not thinking of
He,
you.
oh my, girl, I swear I need you on my live because I need, like, we need to do a co-live one day because that's how I am. I'm like, if you have to come on here at 3 in the morning and ask me if Jake is going to marry you after 8 years, honey, Jake is not going to marry you.
Yes, baby.
And but I try to explain to them, I'm not coming from a place of judgment. I've been there, but you have to love you. And once you love you, you don't need to go to a psychic to ask these questions. But second of all, love is not a feeling. It's
Hmm.
it's action. Love is an action word. So you know if someone likes or loves you based on their actions. And then you don't need to be on TikTok with a psychic at 3 a.m. asking these questions.
Sweet goddess, I
So
love it.
tell
Yeah.
me a little bit about the intuitive illumination. What is this
So
you do with people?
that's my intuitive illusion. I am, oh goodness, Intuitive Illumination Spiritual Guidance Program is my coaching program. And it's where I do have clients literally going from their darkness to their lights. I'm watching their light bulbs turn on right now. I've got 3 clients whose
Mm.
light bulbs are finally coming on. But I use a lot of the modalities that healed me. Use my own experiences. We talk about it raw, real, however it needs to come out. I say it's 8 to 12 weeks, but it's however long they need to get there.
I'm going to ask you a question because
Yes.
you're dealing with some really heavy stuff with your customers.
Yes.
And Tara and I often, and I'll speak more to myself than on Tara's behalf, but we've been at, sometimes fairs or events and stuff, and you'll end up with someone in front of you, and they don't need an intuitive. They actually need to go and see someone for
Therapy.
therapy, for a
Mhm.
psychology or a psychiatrist or some sort of medical assistance for
Mhm.
what they're going through. What, like, do you find people because you have gone through this healing, you've
Mhm.
been through the really dark, heavy stuff,
Mhm.
and we often attract people that we're most likely to help, but do you
Yes.
find sometimes people are just wanting you to do the work for them and they're not, but they're at a different place where you have to go, you know what? I need you to go here first and then come back to me.
Yes. I have seen that. That's one of the questions that are on my intake form. Have you been to therapy, and do you need therapy or do you need coaching? And that's something that we discuss in that first session where we decide whether we're going to work with each other or not. I have a consultation session where it's like, let's be real, let's be raw. And then if I feel that they need therapy, I'll tell them, look, I think for some time you might be better off with a therapist rather than a coach, and then you can go ahead and come back to me after you're starting to feel better. But I think you're too far into, depression for a coach at this time. And I mean, I don't say it, I put it
I get
even
what you're
sweeter
saying.
than that.
Yeah.
But yes.
Well, sometimes you have to put your foot down a little bit,
Yes.
right? You have to be like, okay, I know that you feel I'm your only hope.
Mhm. Mhm.
I know you are relying on me,
Mhm.
but this is not what I do. And you have to be able to, I think, and I think you both are going to agree with me this, to be able to hold your head up high and say that, because we are not the end all be all. And we
Yes.
work with spirit. Spirit works with us, not for
Yes.
us, nor
Yes.
do we owe anything to anyone else. So it is in everyone's best interest to be able to say to someone, hey, baby, you know what? You need to go and get a little bit of something, something over here, because over
Yes.
here is going to have a really beautiful effect for you if you allow it.
Right.
We talked about this this weekend on a platform that I ran at a spiritualist church, and we were talking about the whole, do you believe in Western medicine,
Mhm.
and coincide with holistic medicine and energy
Mhm.
work and all of that. And I am like all in for both. I'm like, baby, it has to be like this. Spirit made Western medicine, for heaven's sakes.
Mhm.
So we have to
Mhm.
go back into that space. So I think that's really, really powerful when a medium or a psychic or an intuitive or an energy practitioner can actually step back, maybe even more so, sometimes the energy practitioners, can step back and be like, damn, I need to send them this way.
Yes.
I think it's
Yes.
powerful as fluff.
Mhm.
It's
See how I got
basically a
that?
boundary. It's almost like having a boundary.
Yeah.
It's like saying, "Oh, okay, this is too far. I can't put myself through this. I've been there. I have empathy for you, but
But I'm not the best
I'm
person
not
to help
going
you.
down that far that far. I'm not going down the rabbit hole that far.
But I really
And
think
I'm
it's
not the best person for you right now."
I really think it's also an ego thing. Like, I don't need to be the end all be all for everyone. And,
No.
even though I've had that experience, like you said, Tawana, even though you've had that experience, they are better off being served by someone else and coming back to
Yes.
you at a later date,
Yes.
a later
Yes.
date, a later time. Call me in November, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
That was a great question, Nan. I love that. Love that,
Mhm.
boo boo. You did a good job, Nan. Success comes from a place of wanting.
Mhm.
And what I mean by that is I'm not, now I always say this, words do not affect me. I believe in power words, so I'm not afraid of words like control and need and all those things. They don't scare me. I'm not one of those people that, needs to, someone, remember that person that yelled at me about severing cords? That's such a strong word. And I was like, do you want to hold on to the cord? Like, do you want to physically cut it? Because
It's a
the word,
word.
I know. I was like, sever the damn cord. Anyway, but success comes from a place of the individual being open to what you are giving.
Mhm.
Do you find that you have to work extra hard to get through to people and the particular people that you're drawing to you, or do you find that you can finesse that energy easily?
I can usually, I've got that je ne sais quoi when it comes to energy. Rarely do I have to work very hard to get through to them. My experiences, and again, just me being an authentic, extremely transparent, like I said, everything about me, the good, the bad, the ugly, is all over the internet, all over podcast, and I'm proud of it. So I do have that way with people where I draw things out of them without them even realizing it.
I love
Yeah,
that. I love that. Do you know who else I feel does that really well, Tawana? Is
you
Nancy.
do.
No!
Oh,
Oh,
Nancy.
I mean, I'm sure I do. I don't know. Toot toot goes my little horn. I mean, I have longtime clients, so I must do something right. But I love, love, love. I'm listening to you, and I love the way you are so, you're humble in what you're speaking about. You know what you're good at. And I was just gonna say that you remind me, a little bit of the way Nan works when she can just say something and she can say it with such an ease. Whereas
Yes.
like I said, I come in like I'm going to knock you over the head with spirit and be like, "Hey." But I love that. I love that
Mhm.
energy. I mean, obviously you're both very different type of practitioner, but I love that kind of energy. I feel like it's low keys me, so I can come
Mhm.
back down because grounding ain't my forte, is it, Nan?
She's a Scorpio. She's through and through busy, busy, busy all the time. It's but it's good, you know. I mean, the fact that you can't sit,
I'm loving her.
yeah, good. We love Tara.
We
We
love,
love
we'll keep
You're
her. We'll keep
you're
her.
the like you're truly the first Scorpio that I am like, I love this lady, because usually Scorpios, and I'm an Aquarius, so usually Scorpios and I don't get along.
Isn't that
Or
funny?
we're
That's
just
not
like,
the first time I've heard that, Tawana. That is
I'm pretty sure I said that to you too, Tara.
She did. I
Oh
was just
my goodness.
she said, I'm a Taurus. She says, oh, I've never ever had a bestie like you.
I know.
Yes, I've even my sister, she's a Scorpio, and I'm like, ugh. But
With love, sister, with
yes,
love.
with love. Ugh. I love your energy. I absolutely love your energy, and I love the fact that you're not afraid to be you. And that was one of the biggest things with me. Last year, I just announced to the few family members that I speak to, I'm taking this mask off. I'm
Nice.
tired.
How
I am
empowering.
tired of wearing this. I said, I'm out here having kidney failure, surgery after surgery after surgery, because I'm holding all these secrets in. And you guys are out here living your best lives, going on cruises every 2 years and doing all these things. I'm tired. I said, so I don't care if it's the family secret or if it's going to embarrass you guys or whatever. You either respect me or you don't. I don't care, but I'm going to be exactly who I am.
Love
Love it.
it.
And did you
Love
find
it.
that your business shifted and all of a sudden opened up and people started coming to you?
When I tell you the opportunities that came to me when I decided to just be me,
Mm-hmm.
when I decided I'm just going to be Tywanah, the person
Yeah.
Tywanah was born to be, and we're going to tag along Mama Lorraine, and that's my mother's name, and that's
Yep.
what she's got a bigger TikTok following than I do. But
Ah,
we're going to tag along Mama Lorraine, and I literally laid on my floor in December, and I told my ancestors, I surrender. I surrender. And surrender is my favorite word, because once I surrendered, did my life get perfect overnight? Did somebody come with a fairy magic wand and be like, oh, you get this? No. But
No,
when I surrendered and let them guide me instead of me trying to control which direction we're going in,
Yeah.
things got easier.
Profound.
My work doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
I
That's
can
true.
sit here 16 hours a day, and I'll record, I'll have 3 clients, I'll do 2 readings, and I might be tired physically, but it doesn't feel like when I worked for White House appointees. I'm not
Mhm.
sitting there like really questioning myself, like, what are you doing?
I
that's
love
it.
that. That's very, very, very strong words. And our listeners need to listen to that. Surrender, people. You're going to be sitting in your
But
power.
Surrender.
no, I think one of the points here, and then we're going to wrap this up with a pretty little bow. I think one of the big things that Tawana, and correct me if I'm wrong, Boo Boo, but I truly believe that you were saying, you know what, I surrendered, but I also knew that's not the end of it. That doesn't mean that everything
Yes.
Yes.
becomes, beautiful and sunshine and happiness. And I think there is a lot of misconception about
Yes.
that, give in, let go, and then everything's okay.
No.
Right. And it's really important that if you're letting go, you realize that you've held on. I always use the weight thing, right? People are so sick of me with this, but it takes 5 minutes to put on 5 pounds. It's going to take you 5 years to get rid of that 5 pounds. I
Right.
think that's really important. And the only way you're going to lose that 5 pounds, babies, is if you step into it and say, I am going to surrender.
Yes.
Okay. I
Yes.
love that. So we're going to wrap it up with a bow. And Nan,
All right. So we have some questions we like to ask our interviewees. So I will start with, what is the best advice you received during your development path? And what is the best advice you'd give to our listeners?
The best advice I received was say yes to yourself. Just say yes to yourself.
Love that.
That was my coach, my soul sister. And the best advice that I would give to someone is bet on yourself.
Mm.
You can't lose if you're betting on yourself.
Love it.
that is cool. We got to use that somewhere. Bumper sticker. I swear.
There we go. There we go. I love
Bumper
that.
sticker. I have a stack of bumper stickers that will be made. That will be my next thing. Spirit Essence bumper stickers.
There we
Oh,
go.
you
Right?
have to let me know.
I have a bumper sticker that says Tawana.
Oh, even better. Even better.
You have to have the quote, her name in the quote
And
on
then
your
the
bumper
quote.
sticker.
That's what I'm going to do. That's the next thing. Give us a bumper sticker quote. We should do that, Nan.
Yeah.
Yeah, show
Okay.
bumper sticker quotes. Come up.
I'm writing it
Okay.
down.
You write
Okay.
it down. Here's my question, baby. You with me still? You are, of course. You are.
I'm still with you.
Okay. If you could have spiritual tea with anyone, who would it be and why?
Honestly, that's still my mother.
Do you know, I need to say this. This is not an attunement to my psychic ability, but I knew you were going to say that.
Kind of did too. I was like, yeah.
Say her mama. Tell us why.
Even
Tell us why.
even though she's right here
Yeah.
at all times, standing right beside me, chitter chattering in my ear. I miss her physical form.
Mm.
Hear you.
And so anything that I could feel like I could do with her seems like my biggest wish fulfilled.
I love it.
Love that.
She transitioned at 59 and I was 25.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm. That's a hard one.
Very.
It is.
Yeah.
But she's here.
Yeah. So maybe just as we've wrapped it up in our bow and we've ended it, you can go have spiritual tea now. Have a
Right,
conversation,
right.
baby.
Oh, we talk all the time.
No, but have that different conversation, Boo. Have the one where it's like, let's just sit. Let's just sit
Yes.
and see what comes up.
Yes.
Okay. Friends, we are finished here.
Thank you. And how can people find you?
Black Butterfly Goddess on everything. Website, social media, tried to make it easy.
Yeah, me
Black
too.
Butterfly Goddess.
Tywanah, it's been a pleasure having you. Thank you so much. And we'll put all of your credentials in the write up below in the podcast. And thank you for joining us. For the listeners who have tuned in, thanks for having us and listening. And tune in again next time. Give us a thumbs up.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on this journey into the wonderfully weird and metaphysical.
If you loved what you heard, don't forget to follow us for more insights and behind the scenes fun.
You can find me in all my social media platforms, Spirit Essence by Tywanah. Let's connect and keep this conversation going, baby.
And I'm over at Nancy Christine Brady. Drop by, say hi, and share your supernatural stories with us.
Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. And for sure, check out our Instagram at Spirits, Angels, Guides. And don't forget to like.
Until next time, stay curious, shine brightly, and keep exploring the extraordinary. See you soon on Spirits, Angels, and Guides. Oh my.
Bye.